Think back to 1965. I know half of you weren't born there. I know some of the older viewers that might be watching this might remember. But the 30th of January 1965, the day was a memorable day for people. It was the funeral of Sir Winston Churchill, a former British Prime Minister and also a national hero to us Brits. Today, well, as from that day right the way up to May, the Churchill funeral train that carried Sir Winston Churchill's coffin to Hamborough is on display at the museum. The locomotive, the luggage van which carries his coffin, and a Pullman coach. So we're going up there today to York to see it. But also, that's not the only reason I'm going to York. There's other reasons as well. There's a Trainspotting Exhibition which ends this month that I'm going to see. There's also the final days of East Coast, because on March 1st they will be known as Virgin Trains East Coast. And 91103, well, I've heard that night and seen, this was on Twitter and Facebook and all that, and there's photos proof of it, is that it's being repainted into the Virgin Red already. But and also I'm going to see if I can find any pacers that need up there as well. But hopefully sit back and enjoy this journey up to York today. My name is Simon Paul. I'm just a regular guy with a hobby, with a passion for trains, and also enjoy travelling by train. And if anyone thinks I do these videos to make myself famous, well, I'm afraid I got some bad news. I do these for fun. So sit back, enjoy the ticket, and enjoy my railway journey.
Platform 3 of the 08:55 London Midland service to London Euston. Call at Lichfield, Trent Valley, Tamworth, Atherstone, Nottingham, Rugeley, Milton Keynes Central and London Euston. This train has 4 carriages. Change at Tamworth for services throughout the East Midlands and also for destinations in the northeast of England. Change at Nuneaton for...
Even though this train rides here at 8:46, it sits here till 8:55. So we've got 9 more days to crucial.
very warm welcome. Welcome on board 1016 cross-country train service to Newcastle Central. Calling next Sheffield, due to arrive at 10:44. On way Doncaster, York, Darlington, Durham, finally Newcastle Central, due to arrive at Terminator at 12:44. My name is Lee, I'm your train manager for your journey as far as York this morning. Welcome on board 1016 cross-country train service to Newcastle.
Select 50 and take care of select from the train through the platform change here for connections to Scarborough, Harrington and the 18 rooms. This is short. Good afternoon. Thank you.
Actually, now we're at the National Museum. We're just about to enter now. As you can see here, we're in the one of the areas at the National Railway Museum, and they blew up rockets. They blew up rockets. Actually, to be honest, it's only there. But no, Stevenson's rocket was not hard during the making of this film. You can see here there's some Trainspotting stuff in this case. All the background, so some American stuff on the TV. But though people in the old days used to use maps to get around, there's a log of someone's book. You can see here. Zoom it in. There you go. Some of the locos that they've seen. There's some B2s in there, it's North Euston, ERL and ER, 6019 Bittings there, some of the A4s, but what they used to do at the days is they used to just write them down. That was Trainspotting. Just took it up and down back in the 50s and 60s. Some people took photos. Let's see what else is in this case. A map. Some people draw their own maps so they knew where they were. I think this is, yeah, Scarborough, so this is York in the scene days. Some people had photos, a 20 and a 20 drive. They had up and down. Now this here is the Locomotive Spotters book, which like the era had ABCs. You used to jot them down. Now there could be a British road up in there like 47,580, and if you saw it you just crossed it off with that book. This is a BR version, but Ian Adam who started the ABC spotting books. A couple more photos there. Go around this case here. This is a tide table. Out of Paddington towards St Bassett, which would have it's like the old version of real-time trains. As you see, Paddington there, Kensington, Acton, Broadway, Southall, Hayes and Harlington, Slough, Maidenhead, Twyford, Reading, Dicker. Some more photos there of Class 52 Western. I know what this is now. Somebody's done a notepad, a sketch of the British Isles and put the sheds in there. And there we got Inverness, Haymarket, Heathrow Mills. Another notepad. This is more the diesel era. The American stuff is finished now. This is like what you find in the 80s, units, locos. This is the original Steve Spotting's book. As you can see there, the numbers crossed off is what this person saw. This is more of the southern region. Or LNER, no, LNER. And that's really it really, but nowadays Trainspotting is more modern. We film stuff. Not like these people these days. You see there's a group of people just on the platform. Well, that's in the shed actually. We do do shed bashes with the people. They used to go line side, take photos. That is still happens today, but not like that. What else have we got on this wall? Some kids there, Trainspotting. Another shed bash photo. That's a high neck there. We used to do like specials as well, which they take people to steam sheds back in the days. Bought a special train, took it to Swindon Works to go have free roaming there. This is the sectioned version of Stevenson's Rocket. But in 1830, a young actress by the name of Fanny Kemble rode on the footplate of Rocket. It's the first recorded instance of a member of the public travelling on a footplate ride. She quoted, "When I closed my eyes, the sensation of flying was quite delightful and strange beyond description. I had a perfect sense of security and not the slightest of fear." In 1841, a diary believed to belong to Colonel James Pennyman showed detailed records of trains on the Great North of England from 1841 to 1847, Unfortunately, this will not be in it, but it's a North Eastern Railway locomotive, but it's close to that area. This was built in 1874. There was a lot of news about last year when they made a shocking discovery about a female train spotter. In 1861, the first person to keep records of locomotives, numbers and names in a separate journal or notepad was a girl at the age of 14. Her name was Fanny Johnson. That was legitimately a real name. Her lists are mentioned in the Great Western magazine published in 1935. A notebook titled Names of Engines on the Great Western That I've Seen, passing Westbourne Park Station. About that time in 1861, apparently she claimed that she had seen all of Daniel Gucci's 8-footers as well. Fortunately, she would not have seen this City of Truro, because by that time the Great Western Railway in 1861 was broad gauge and not standard gauge. 30th of January 1965. We're on platforms 9 and 10, but the platform behind me, platform 11, this is when Sir Winston Churchill left London for the final time on his funeral train, hauled by the Southern Railway's Battle Britain class 34051 Sir Winston Churchill, some Pullman coaches and a Southern Railway's luggage van that was painted chocolate clean with his coffin in it. It was a sad day for Eggbody as Eggbody watched the funeral train go by. It left here at 1:28 in the afternoon. It went to Reading and then it joined the Great Western Railway Metals at Reading to carry on to its final destination. You can see now in the Great Hall, and right in front of the camera is 34051 Sir Winston Churchill locomotive. This battle boom class was built in Brighton in 1946, released into traffic on the 30th December. It was unnamed but numbered 21C151 because the Southern Railways had different numbering systems in their day than the Great Western Railway, the NLS and the NLR. It was first allocated to the Salisbury shed for the Western England service between London and Exeter. 21C151 was officially named Winston Churchill, or Sir Winston Churchill, in a ceremony at Waterloo on the 11th September 1947. Winston Churchill was offered the chance to name the locomotive after himself, but turned it down, claiming to a prior engagement. The locomotive was named by Lord Dowling, which also named 34052, as well on the same day, which was named after him. Bear in mind that 34052 will be making a comeback this year, brought to be running as that dead classmate. Even though brought to the West Country class and that's a Battle Britain, but they are the same designs. In October 1948, a number changed from 21C151 to 34051, which is the number you see now. It was also painted Brunswick Green, which is the scheme here. February 1950, allocated to 9 Elms. April 1951, allocated to Exmouth Junction, but 2 months later after allocated, went back to Salisbury. 34051 was withdrawn on the 19th of September 1965. In November that year, 34051 moved to Hennifield for storage, so it spent time at Didcot Railway Centre and then the National Railway Museum in York. Between 2012 and 2014, spent its time at the Midlands Railway for cosmetic restoration to display the mark of 50 years of Churchill's death, which was last month. This is February the 10th. If anyone's this is the title, and that's about it basically. But the locomotive is reunited with the luggage van, which is behind it, which will go into more detail on it now. This was the carriage that carried Churchill's coffin in. This was a Southern Railway's 53 feet gangway bogie luggage van built in 1931. It was drawn in 1961 but was painted to Pullman colours in 1962 but kept it outside at Stuart Slade's carriage shed. This is the number of this is S2464S, and this was the known as the hearse in the formation of the train to carry Churchill's coffin in.
To watch the funeral train as it leaves on the last carriage. London, 2 hours away, to a little railway station on the line from London to Worcester. A station called Kemble. It's very small, it's very insignificant, it's very unimportant, but not today perhaps. A very simple setting, not a very smart station, and indeed it's one, I believe, doomed to passenger church. But it's 2 miles from this church, which is the Church of England. It is in this churchyard that they are going to lay Winston Churchill to rest. There has not been anything in the whole history of our land, a state funeral or occasion which has touched the hearts of people quite as much as this one is doing today.
This is one of the Pullman cars that was used in the formation of Churchill's funeral train. This is Lydia. But the formation of the Pullman train was as follows. You had the locomotive Winston Churchill at the front. You had Pullman Guard Parlour Car 208 at the hearse which was behind that. Then you had Pullman Kitchen Car Korea. You had Pullman Kitchen Car Lydia. You had Pullman Car Perseus. Perseus, which is actually used on the Bellman's British Pullman behind Clan Line today, and also diesel rail tours as well with the Pullman stock. And at the back you had the Pullman Guard Parlour Car, the Isle of Felland, and that was it. There was only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Pullman coaches, the luggage van and the loco. But these coaches carried Churchill's families and close friends in it, from London to Canberra. The discs on the front were used for breakdown trains, but it was used for Churchill's funeral train as well. Basically, if you look on it, it's like a V sign which was forming, evoking Churchill's V for victory sign. York Station is right behind me. We're on a balcony at the National Railway Museum. This is a viewing area which you can view the trains coming out of York or coming into York from here. And we're waiting for this 5G05 Craig and Tilly to Bounds Green, which is a diesel loco, and it's East Coast operated, so it's a HST, but it's a short-term plan on real-time trains. Oh, Grand Central. That's 43465 there. And the rear is 43468. But no, as I say, this is York Station, about the National Railway Museum. And the Grand Central interrupted me. But no, we're here to 5G05. I think it's 5G05. The idiot if I'm not. Let's just check the I've got real-time times on my phone. It's 2 o'clock now. Yeah, it's 5G05, 9:22, Craig and Tilly to Bounds Green, which is in London. As you can see there, that's real-time trains. That's what I'm looking at. Back in the days with Trainspotting, they didn't have any of this technology. It was show up, see what you see, and that was it. Some days it does happen to me. You could come out one day and not expect a thing at this station or that station because they kind of STP like that. But some days you're coming out for a freight, you don't know what's on it, and you might be surprised what you get on it. It still happens this day, but with modern technology like real-time trains, the internet, you can get some stuff like that. So I know, right, this day's happening, I'm going to the station for that. Back in the day, we show up and wait to see what you saw. Fortunately though, the internet has ruined this hobby. I will have to say that, because especially with like Facebook, for God's sake, you do get people arguing about it, which leads into arguments, and to be honest, I'm fed up with that myself now. You can't go on Facebook every night till there's an argument, but it's entertaining to watch sometimes. I know it's not a good thing, but when there's arguments, but unfortunately that's how it goes. But no, I just keep my head down now, do my videos for fun, and that's me. I try not to get into arguments myself. But we're just waiting for this HST now, we're going to say, to come down, and then we're going to go back in the museum. It is quite cold out here as well. As you can see here, this funny looking thing could be the future of the West Coast Main Line, known as Intercity 250. This is a Class 93 mock-up electric loco. They were planning to build these between 92 and 95, but never built because they didn't have the funds for it. The maximum speed would be 155 miles per hour. Intercity 250 was the name of the proposed rolling stock track and signaling upgrade project on the West Coast Main Line by British Rail in the early 1990s. The Intercity 250 train would consist of a Class 93 electric loco, 9 Mark V coaches and a Mark V dry trailer van. The project was cancelled in July 92 before work could begin. In 1985, work began fully electrifying the East Coast Main Line, the project which saw the line fitted with overhead wires between London and Edinburgh, which took 5 years to build, but the rolling stock they had was Mark IVs and coaches and Class 91s. But they were the classes Intercity 225s. We're still here. Just got cancellation. So I get my source Wikipedia. During the impact of the 1990s recession, rolling stock orders placed by other sectors, British Rail led to a shortage of funding, which saw many projects suspended or scrapped. Together with the impending privatisation of British Rail, I'll say that again. Together with the impending privatisation of British Rail, this led to Intercity 250 project being abandoned. As you can see here, this is a diagram of York. This is from the Signalling Centre, which you will see behind the scenes. And these head codes here are basically what you see on RTT. They're passengers. The loco there is 66433 on that side in there. It goes to Old Self there. That's York, and then that comes out to York there. And then this is Tomington and Thirsk, and then Northallerton. As you can see, just coming through Tomington now is 5G05. So it's on our way to York now. Don't know how up to date minute this is, but as soon as it gets to that screen there, comes onto there ready for York. So they go outside and wait for it. As you can see, they're about to put the seats. As you can see here, they're about to put the seat trio on the turntable. There we go. Which is now on static displays going around the turntable for a demonstration.
see it's not as easy as it looks. Going back into track 5. My job is to lock the turntable back in when the rails line up. I think Peter deserves a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Now just before you leave us, you may wonder why City of Truro is here. This engine built in 1902, Swindon, down in Wiltshire, for the Great Western Railway. This engine in 1904 was the first one to crack 100 miles an hour. Allegedly, she did 102.4 miles an hour on a place called Wellington Bank on a train called the Ocean Mail. With that, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, do please come to the power end of the turntable. We'll take the questions. If not, do please enjoy the rest of your day here at the National Railway Museum. Thanks very much for coming. See you all again. Take care.
Right, we are still in the National Railway Museum, but we are outdoors. As you can see, the weather is not too kind to us. It is foggy, there's a bit of an Arctic cold, but it's not as windy, but it is windy. While we're in the museum, we have discussed, well, I have mentioned about the Churchill funeral train, the loco, the hearse, or the luggage van as you like to call it, and the formation of the train. We have discussed about the pioneers of train spotting, Fanny Kemble, Fanny Johnson, and that's it really, but we'll probably get 1 or 2 things done before we go. As you can see, the depot is behind me, but that's off limits, closed. We weren't there earlier because they blew up rocket, as you saw. Literally, they blew up George Stephenson's rocket. But this is the place where they usually have ice cream, train rides. This was also the start of 2012 Wellfest when it was here. Fortunately, February, there's not really much happening, but it's still a trip to make anyway. We're going back in the museum now and get 1 or 2 things, and then we're off back to the railway station. Here stands the London Brighton South Coast Railway B1 class. They were designed by William Strowley at Brighton Works between 1882 and 1891. 36 of these locos were produced. And this is the only one preserved out of them, Gladstone. The London Brighton South Coast Railway B1 class is a class of 042 express passenger locomotive, known for its name of the first one, 214 Gladstone. These were the last express passenger designs of William Strowley and were larger and improved versions of the Richmond class of 1878. 36 locomotives were turned out from Brighton Railway Works between 1882 and 1891, and they were used for heaviest London to Brighton expresses. Nowadays the 377s have got that. All were named after politicians, men and associated with the railway, or places served by the railway in 1889. The 189 Edward Blount was expeditioned at the 1889 Paris Exhibition and received a gold medal. The locomotives were originally designated the Class B together with the Richmond class, but were later designed as B1s, class by D.E. Marsh. During the first decade of the 20th century, the class was gradually replaced by the Billington B4 class locomotives, and they were transferred to secondary duties. The withdrawals began in April 1910, and by the outbreak of the First World War, 10 had already been scrapped. The remaining 26 locomotives passed the Southern Railways in 1923, but withdrawals recommended in 1926, and the latter by the 172 was withdrawn in 1933. Preservation. The first of his class, 214 Gladstone, as you can see here, was preserved as a static exhibit thanks to the efforts of the Stephenson Locomotive Society, and now normally it's on display in the National Railway Museum in New York. Gladstone is the only ex-London Brighton South Coast Railway tender locomotive to be preserved as well. See, now that we left the National Railway Museum, we'll be heading back to the station now. It's like the Didcot Railway Centre, it's a quick walk. Back at York Station. Skip 30. Let's go to Newcastle or Edinburgh. Oh, you can't have a Yorkshire without pacer. This is the 1725 to Leeds by Harrogate, 142021. That should go now, bro. Yeah, single slow where it might wait for the East Coast. Pacers can keep quiet for a second. You can see here 185122 standing on 5 York. But this particular picture you see is all very good for the rail enthusiasts. Any rail enthusiasts want a special here, or in the old days they always took a shot here. I'm dubbing this as the classic York pose. That's my personal opinion. You see the shots from the 70s, the 80s, probably the steam days, the 90s. How rude. Anyway, that was a classic York pose of that 185 leaving. But like I said, from now till the 50s at least, like good 50 years, no enthusiasts always preferred that as a good picture at York.
Birmingham New Street on platform 1. Now, we did visit York earlier to see Churchill's fuel train, but however there was actually fuel trains before that, dated back to 1854. I think it's the best time to incorporate a bit of that into this video. So now actually I am going to London, even though it was pre-taped, well pre-recorded, but here's me at Waterloo to explain more. This is the site of what was the Crosscountry Railway. Opens on the 13th of November 1854,
closed on the 11th of April 1941. Last day of service official closure, May 1941. Trains were added to Brookwood Cemetery, which was the largest cemetery in the world, to accommodate all the deaths in London for centuries. The lines ran on the existing tracks of the London South Western Railway, had its own branches both in London and Brookwood. Trains carried coffins and passengers to and from the dedicated station in Waterloo. On reaching Brookwood, trains had to reverse down a branch line. The plan was to make money and to gain a monopoly of the burial industry, but the scheme was not a success. A part of the London building, which housed the London Metropolis Railway headquarters, survives, which is right in front of you. But the buildings was built in 1902. The London Metropolis Railway was bought by the London South Western Railway in 1899.
The next train to arrive at platform 3 will be the 2104 CrossCountry service to London Spa.
Nice to see it arrive once before. We're now on 17504, 2117 to Rugeley Trent Valley. As you can see over there, that is just planned damn right stupid. What do I can actually go in the cab now. There's nobody there. They left the door open. Seriously. I could actually go myself and what to do, but I know I'm not supposed to do that. That's damn right stupid then. Left Henderson now, we're on our way back to Rugeley. It's about a few minutes. This turbo style is bumpy as hell, but we're on our last leg now. We had a good day at the National Railway Museum, got there a good time just for midday, had a good couple of hours there. Well, we had about 5 hours there to be honest, and did a bit at the station, got a few trays, and that was it basically. Started off at Rugeley Town, went to Rugeley Trent Valley, went to Tamworth, went to Derby. The train we got to Derby was actually the 909, which was really a bit late, but it was better. But then we went to York from Derby. On the way back we went York straight to Birmingham and then Birmingham back to Rugeley Town. There was also some video footage at Churchill's funeral that was shown, and to be honest it was quite sad, to be fair. But I had a tear in my eye probably towards the end of it. But as for the train spotting, well, it's just a bunch of guys just minding their own business, just enjoying themselves. Been around since the 1830s, the 1860s. Heard of Fanny, Kemble, Fanny Johnson, and all them. But what we don't like is some idiots. This is true, I'm afraid, that I have encountered some idiots before. When we're filming, they stick the middle finger up and they say nasty things towards us. To be honest, they're the ones who are the nasty people because they got no life. If you want to make fun of our relatives, that's then, to be honest, what you do with your life. To be fair. But like I said, the social media today has ruined this hobby a little, but it still goes stronger than ever though. With Facebook, because people get into arguments about petty things. But that's today's world, I'm afraid. Anyway, enough talking now, but hopefully you enjoyed this one. To be honest, I don't think this is going to be one of the best ones. Honestly, when I did with the Churchill part, I did kind of felt like it was brutal, to be honest, doing it. But I'll leave that to you. It's up to you, the ball's in your court, you can do whatever you like. You can like the video, you can dislike it. But that's the end of this trip. Well, it's almost the end of this trip. We do have a fair dodge in the toilet, but to be honest, the car's not doing his job, so there's no point. But you can subscribe to us on Facebook at Siren Trains. You can subscribe to us on Twitter at Siren Trains. You can subscribe to us on Facebook at Siren British Railway Journeys. And if you like to link the video, I'll probably put you in the mood with the fair dodger, with the fair dodger for 5 minutes. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and what I do. Oh, we're here now apparently. Anyway, today has been victory, and it's time to get off this train, to be honest. So hopefully see you on the next one. This is the part where I usually cut it off and then film at the doors, but that's not the case. I'm the only one in this carriage. Yeah. That hoop. Always check for your personal belongings before you get off the train, otherwise you lose them. We did say Rugeley Town, but there's nothing. Did you just call it too early? No buildings there, yeah. That should be the bridge, yeah. Yeah, there's the surgery, yeah, we're here. Anyway, like I said, hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll see you on the next trip, whatever it's going to be. I don't know when. So just expect another one up on YouTube anytime. Anyway, here's Rugeley Town, the end of the line. Here's 17504 ready to leave to Rugeley Trent Valley, where the doors close. It's going now.